with Jason Pridmore at his very own school. This is not somebody else's school, this is his school. You've raced at Miller, and now you're doing your first day here. The first one got rained out, and we got some good weather. How does this track compare to other tracks where you instruct?
Well, this is, I think it's the premier facility in the country that we have here. Everything about it is, for lack of a better term, it's very European in the sense that they always seem to do things very right over there in Europe. And I wish we would have got rained out here. We didn't get rained out. We got snowed out. We weren't able to ride because of 2 days of heavy snow, but yeah, it's worth it. The track, the personnel here are really nice people, and they're very, very relaxed, and they're very willing to work with you, which makes it even more nice to be able to come to such a special facility and have it be as good as it is.
Okay, we're with Mark and Jason Woodbury, who did Star School or any track school for the first time. They've ridden the track before for the last couple of years. You finally did a school. What did that do for you?
Oh, it was just fantastic. I think when Jason, my son here, and I came out here, we thought it's going to be some instructors and some guys that Jason has hired, and they're going to be good riders, and they're going to be the guys. And Jason's probably does a walk-on. That wasn't the case at all. What impressed me was the fact that Jason, in the morning sessions, taught the classes. What do you think?
Oh yeah, that was amazing. I couldn't believe that he was like teaching the classes himself. I mean, we got a pro up there telling us what to do. You can't get better instruction than that.
In the first session out, your first track session, you just follow the instructors to learn where the track is. And when they complete a lap, the guy directly behind the instructor raises his hand, moves over, everybody slots forward, that guy goes to the end of the line, and then the next person gets to follow the instructor right around the track to learn where the track is going. In one of the class sessions you talked about, you don't want to just do a lap to burn tires and gas, you want to be improving. How does someone at your level do that? How do you do that, Sensei?
Yeah,
you're the master. How do you do that? What are you doing?
I think the biggest thing is that you have to remember that if people at the highest level of racing are working on things every time they ride, and maybe not so much for themselves, but they're figuring out a way to better adapt their abilities to a motorcycle, because the bikes change from year to year and they get better. And those are usually the guys that are winning a lot, and shoot, I know I can always learn, and I'm more than willing to do that. So, I get students that come to our school sometimes that think that maybe they know quite a bit more than they do, and it's always nice when you can turn over a new leaf with them and let them see that there's still things that they can learn, and that's fun for me to be able to pass a few things along like that to help them.
I remember we talked earlier about downshifting.
For me, I think probably Jason found the same thing too, but that was probably the biggest thing that I learned today. As soon as you decide I'm off the throttle, it's downshift. Feather the clutch and downshift while the RPMs are still up. What a huge difference, because it just seemed to increase the smoothness going into the next turn.
Okay, we're with James Liquar, who's one of the instructors at Star Motorcycle School. This is one of your motorcycle jobs, but you also work for the RoadRacingWorld.com team. What do you do for them?
I'm a crew chief for Robertino Pietri, who's a young Venezuelan rider. It's first year in the MA series. Super Stock is our series, and we're 14th in points, I think, right now. And looking at a 2-year program, hopefully he'll come back next year.
So you're hoping he'll come back. You're ready to go for 2 years.
Yeah, and we're also going to Venezuela for the South American Championship, which starts 2 weeks after Mid-Ohio. So
darn the bad luck.
It should be interesting. Yeah, 5 rounds in Venezuela.
I'm so sorry for you.
Thank you.
And what do you do for? Oh, you're crew chief.
I'm a crew chief. Yeah, I have one mechanic who's actually used to be a teammate, and then I was his mechanic. So we've kind of got the band back together. Years later, Scott Harwell, who's a well-known Formula USA, and we're a racer.
And so Chris Ulrich is another member of the team, and he has his own people.
He has his own side of the tent, yes. Yep.
What is the single greatest thing that people have the biggest problem that you can say, okay, do this and it's magical?
It's easy to talk about at this racetrack. Most of us, our perception is that we need more racetrack than we actually do. And racetracks like Barber, Laguna, Road America, and now Miller that are FIM spec, that are they're wider racetracks. Everyone's perception is that they're faster and that they need more track, and when you come to these track days, it's a counterintuitive. You think you're making it safer by using more track, but you're actually working harder, and you're getting your money's worth, is my joke always. It's like, you paid good money and I'm going to use as much track as I can. And if we can just get people to use a little bit less racetrack, it helps the sight line visually, gives them more confidence, all these kinds of things. And I got to help a few students this morning, and that's what we talked about was you don't need to be out there. If we poured more pavement, they would be on it as soon as it was dry. And we don't need to do that here at this racetrack, for sure.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for chatting.
Oh, you're
with
welcome.
us. Appreciate
Yeah.
it. And I asked this of James, and so we'll compare the two answers. What is it that you see the most common problem that riders come with as a group that you need to just get that taken care of right away?
Well, I mean, I'm in the morning classrooms. James isn't in, so I get a lot more interesting questions than maybe he does in the afternoons. But I think for sure line selection. I think that there's a lot of misguidance out there in the sense of what lines do we take. I think that a lot of people teach a line that's at a fairly high level, and I think that there's a lot of people out there that can't relate to that. So the way we try to teach lines at our school is let it be all speed oriented. I think that your speed should really determine what line you're on. If I've got someone doing 150 and someone doing 50, I'm not going to put them in the same place on the track. And I think that's probably the biggest thing that we stress in the mornings. And once we get people's confidence in that, and they realize that there's another way of doing something, then everything else you say, they really take notice of. So for me personally, in the morning classrooms on the first day, it's very key to get people on the right line.
Exact same answer. Bing, bing. Now, okay, here you go. Most important thing for the advanced group is to concentrate on corner exits. Not entrances, not apexes, exits. Doing two-up rides this afternoon?
Yeah.
We get a two-up ride?
Yeah, if you'd like one, I'd be more than happy to do that.
As fast as you can go, baby. That's what I want.
Better watch what you ask for. No, you know, the rides are, again, just a big learning tool. That's something I started off when I was with my father doing schools with him. And, you know, there's been times when I've thought about not doing the rides anymore just because I enjoy working one-on-one with students, too. But people do get a lot from them, and it gives them a little, an idea of what it is that, you know, the world of road racing is all about, even though it's at a level that's pretty mellow. But it gives people an idea of what it's like, and it adds validity to everything that I try to teach them in the classroom in the morning.
It was an epiphany for me. The
Yeah.
first ride ever was an epiphany for me,
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Now, you each took a two-up ride. Tell us about your two-up ride, Jason.
Oh, the two-up ride was amazing. There's definitely a big gulf in the skill level between guys like us and guys like Pridmore.
Now, you never thought that you could go that fast on a bike.
I had no idea. I mean, he went a lot faster with the two of us on one bike than I can go just by myself.
And what about the lean angles?
Oh, the lean angles were amazing. I can't believe that he pitches it over that far, especially with two people, but he never lost control, not even for a second.
Now, Mark, you talked about going into a turn and you thought, well, there's no way we're going to pass this guy and make this turn.
Oh, it was amazing. If anyone has a chance to take a two-up ride with an AMA champion like this, you've got to do it. As we approached corners and he is passing, I'm looking up there thinking, he's going to pass these two guys, and we're not going to make it. We're not going to make it. And boom, he's already thought ahead. Around the person, around the turn, I'm going, wow, unbelievable. I mean, this guy is thinking so far ahead of what I'm used to thinking, planning in terms of my riding and in terms of passing. Truly amazing. Now, the one thing I did notice is that he would set up so early for the next turn. Weight shifted, downshift's done, braking a little bit, prepared, way earlier than I ever thought would even be possible, really. So, yeah, it was amazing.
So,
really amazing.
All in all, a good day.
Oh,
definitely.
fabulous day.
We had a blast.
So you'll have to come back.
We will
Yeah,
be back.
We'll be back.
All right. We're here with a Star School repeat offender. Who are you and where are you from?
I'm Troy Ants. I'm from St. George, Utah.
Okay, so that's about 4 hours away.
Yep.
Now, you've done Star School a 3 times?
Yep. This is my third time, twice in Pahrump, and this is my first class here.
Now, why do you do this over and over again?
Well, we started riding, my brothers and I, probably 2 years ago. And the first class we went to, we just learned a ton. So, and every time you go, you learn more and more. And it's been great. Even today, there's things that I had forgotten that I'd learned at the class, and I remember them when I come back to the class.
You think, oh, I got to do that.
And it's just stuff that helps you go faster. So it's great. That's the biggest thing.